Hi, Judy.
Hi, Patricia. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good, good. I'm glad you could join us here at Primitive Quilts and Projects. And for all you readers watching this video, I'd like you to meet Patricia Sanabria Friedrich of PGT Designs by Patricia. So, Patricia, tell us a little bit about who you are and about your work.
Okay. My name, like you said, says Patricia Sanabria-Friederich. I'm originally from Costa Rica, and I moved to United States when I got married in the 90s, early 90s, I believe. Yeah, early 90s. And then I married my husband, Doyle. We have two kids and three granddaughters. And I start, my sewing and my quilting since I was a kid. But I started quilting when I moved and to Wisconsin, where I lived before. We moved to Georgia and then we moved to Iowa now. We are in Iowa.
Um,
Mhm.
how did you how did you learn how to make quilts?
Well, at first when I moved, when I just married, I always like to sew and everything. And in Costa Rica, we many years ago, I see everybody doing the kind of quilts, but they were not with batting and backing. It was just the piecing and like the top, and that was it. I think it's because it's warm. It's very
Mhm,
warm in Costa Rica, so that's my thing. I'm not
mhm,
sure if that was the reason or it was some other reason, but at those years, that's how I see them. And because I always took sewing lessons and craft lessons with my sisters, and my mom always keep us busy. So we always taking classes. And then that's how I learned how to do little things like that when I was very young. But when I married and moved to United States, I see the real quilts. So I
mhm.
said, I need to learn how to do that. So I took my first class in Wisconsin, and I never stopped since then.
Mhm.
I keep going and going and going, and I take classes every time that I can. If local shop around here is teaching a class with different techniques, um, anything, I take the class because you never finish learn
Mhm.
ever. So everybody have different ways to do things, and maybe I take the class and it's an applique class, and they do it different than I do it, and then I can say I like better that way, so I keep trying to do it that way. Or I said no, that doesn't work for me, and then I don't do it that way. But I can see the options out there,
Mhm.
so
Well,
that
that's
that's how I.
smart. Mhm. All right. Well, how did you come about starting a business?
Well, it's a little bit of story in there.
Mhm.
Okay. All this start because I was diagnosed with Cogan syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease. And it was very shocking for me to be able to hear one day and not able to hear the next day, literally. I went to bed one day, and the next day I was deaf on one of my ears, and years later, my other ear was gone. And then um, I can be blind, or the disease can go move to my brain. So I just need to be busy, so I cannot talk about that or think about that. I don't talk to my family about that. I don't
Mhm.
talk to my friends about that. I I just move it out of my head, and
Mhm.
then pray to God. I can deal being deaf, but please don't let me blind, because I always like to work with my hands. Very crafty person. So thanks God, so far I am just deaf, and I pray so much that I think it's a miracle. It's a
Mhm.
miracle, because doctor says I should be blind by now, and thanks God, nothing. So when all this was um, the doctors told me all this. I says I need to do something. If I going to be blind, I want to leave something so my family can see what I did, or my kids or my grandkids or something can see something that I make. And because I already was quilting, and I have always I have a few years quilting, so I went to visit my family and in Costa Rica. And then my mom liked to go to mass very early, and like, let me say, like half hour early. The time of it, mass is at 10. She's at 9:30. Is right there, sitting in her spot. So I used to go with her, and one day, just waiting, and I look down and I see a tile floor, and then I said, "This is perfect for a quilt. This is perfect." So the next Sunday, I came to church with a camera and started taking pictures. So I went to my mom's house, and and we were having lunch with my family, and I says, "I'm gonna make a quilt with this picture. Look at," and I show my brothers and sisters, and they look at me like I was a little bit crazy or something. And I said, "This is perfect for a quilt," the blocks and everything. So to make the story short, I came home and I told my husband, and then he looked at me too, you know, like I was crazy or something. And I said, "You're going to see this." And then I make the quilt. I'm the first quilt. And then I thought to myself, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a quilt. I'm gonna make a book. And I went back to Costa Rica, and I started visiting churches, elementary schools, and historical buildings from Costa Rica. And then I came home. I contact a publisher company, and then Landauer Publisher Company told me yes. And then I went to market, and I talked to them. And then it's kind of funny because I went there. I didn't know that you need to have an appointment. And then I talked on the phone first. And then I told them, "Patricia, I talked to somebody and I have my drawings, but I wanted to show and see if they really like it and blah, blah, blah." And then, "Oh, you have appointment?" And I said, "No." And then she said, "Well, you need an appointment." And then I said, "But I don't have appointment." So the lady was very nice and went to a couple ladies that were sitting in the side, and then talked to them. And then she come back and says, "You have like 5 minutes to go and talk to them." And then I went there, and I was so lucky that the person that I talked at the phone was Jeremy Landauer, the owner of the company. And then the editor was with her. So I show my drawings. I do everything by hand. I don't do anything in computer. Everything is by hand. So they like it, and Jeremy told me, right now it's just shaking hands, and but I will be sending contract to you and all the stuff that you need to have done before we can keep going with this. And then we decided what designs we want in the book and this and that. So finally, we finished with all those details. And then a year later, my book was published. And then I says to myself, that's something that my family can have after I'm gone, and my kids can see after I'm gone. But that was like 13 years ago. And because I thought in any time I was going to be blind. So I need to do everything. I need to move fast. And then, but thanks God, I'm not blind.
Oh
So
my gosh.
this is a miracle. So that's how my journey and the quilting started. So I keep going and going and going, and making more quilts and more quilts. I just published that book. That was it. That just a book. But I keep going with my designs and everything. And then I always ask for my friends, do you have a website? Do you have a website? No. Do you sell your patterns? No. Just a book. But then my husband started seeing that it was more serious. So he started helping me and helping me and helping me more and more and more. And then um, I I became a better, every time I try to be a better designer, but, a little bigger. And because I have a website, because now I do trunk shows all over, I go and do teach all over wherever guild or shop invited me. I go and do my presentations and show my work. Is my patterns are uh, in the stores, around United States, and in Costa Rica. My family have a small quilting shop, so they have my patterns there too. So, uh, it's growing in all these years, and I'm very grateful. And I give thanks to God because it gives me the opportunity to show my work and to keep me busy, and then uh, the way I don't have to think about anything else.
That
So,
is, that's beautiful. Thank you for that.
you're welcome. I hope this can help somebody. They don't sit in there and feel sorry for themselves. Just move, because it's always. My mom always told me, you always have to look um, behind you, because it's always somebody that's in a very worse position than you are,
Mm-hmm.
and then that way you know how good you have your life, how good you are, and because it's always somebody that
Mm-hmm.
needs help or anything. And I always give thanks to God that this happened to me and anybody of my brothers and sisters, my parents, because it's not easy, it's not fun, and uh, the treatments are very tough, and so it's not it's not easy. So
Mm-hmm.
if this can help, somebody, is that's gonna be, a plus. It's good for me that that I talk to about it. And then when I go and do my trunk shows and presentations,
Uh-huh.
always somebody come to me after I'm done and says,
Uh-huh.
thanks God that you came here, because you helped me a lot today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it made me feel very good. The
Yeah.
people come to me, you make my day, because you inspire me so much that
Mhm.
I just gonna go and not feel sorry for myself. And it's
Yeah.
maybe an older person. I'm an old person too, but maybe a little bit older, and maybe they have health issues too. And
Mhm.
and this is wonderful. Your way to see life is wonderful. How you see life. And I says, well, we are alive, so that's the only thing we need.
Mhm.
Give thanks to God that we are alive, and then try to do it better. It's not easy for everybody, but we just have to ask for the strength and keep going every day. It was not easy for me.
Mhm.
It was not easy, and it's still not easy, but
Mhm.
I just keep going. And I always tell people, keep your mind busy, do something, read, paint, sew, crochet, knit, something that put your um your worries or your problems or something. Just do it for like um 10 minutes. I said I'm gonna do it 10 minutes today, and then sit in there and do something. And when you realize, maybe we're 15 or 20 minutes, so it's 15 or 20 minutes, you're not thinking,
Right.
and you're proud, whatever. And then you keep going, and every day you enjoy more. Maybe you don't like to sew, maybe you like to read, or maybe you like to paint, or
Mhm.
there's many different things. And
Yeah.
always help somebody else, and that make me happy. They make me, and it's a purpose for this. Not everything is bad, not everything is bad.
Right.
I always help somebody.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
you're welcome.
Yeah. So, your quilt in the fall issue in this
Mhm.
issue. It's called Welcome Home.
Yes. Mhm.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. That I live in Iowa now,
Mhm.
and then I live in the country. So it's corn all over. It's farms all over. I just have to go like half a mile out of my house and the driveway out of my house, and then it's a farm. And
Mhm.
then a little bit more, and it's other farm. It's just farms all over, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I our house is like 5 acres, and it's only like maybe like 2.5 or 3 the is grass and trees and everything, but the rest is just trees and the nature, wild nature in there. So
Beautiful.
we have lots of birds in the summer, and we have um, deers and turkeys and
Mhm.
raccoons and everything. You name it, everything goes around here. So I love that. And
Mhm.
then I like the country life, and I always taking pictures. So I always carry a little book with me in like a notebook or something. And if I see something, if I don't have to take the chance to take a picture, then I just open it and make like a little drawing or something so I can remember later. And then so little houses, all farmhouses, everything. And I love some flowers too. So
Mhm.
um th- that specific little house that's in that uh, wall hanging, it was around somewhere in Iowa in an old farm house in the middle of a field. It's not even I don't think anybody lives there anymore. It's
Mm.
a shack is how you call it, like a shack.
Okay,
It's
yeah. Mhm.
like a
A
snack.
shack.
Because nothing is there and nobody lives there. But I like the shape of the house, so I
Mhm.
make like the little drawing and everything. And then I came home and I start doing it. And then because I love sunflowers, I put the sunflowers around, and I have the welcome and a welcome home, because that was a home for somebody at one time.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's very, very beautiful and thoughtful.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
um, that's how that design came to
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, if our readers would like to learn more about you or visit your website or social media, where are you? How can people find you?
Okay. They can find me. I am in Facebook. I have to be honest. I have my personal, and I have the business PGT Designs in Facebook. They can find me like that, or by Patricia Sanabria-Friederich, and is I have is my personal. But I accept them. My friends in there too. My quilting friends in there too. So either one.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm not very active in the PGT. Designs of Facebook. I try to, but um, and then I have a website which is pgtdesigns.com,
Mhm.
and there are all. I try to have all my designs and um, patterns and kits uh, listed in there,
Okay.
and I always try to post it in Facebook too when I have a new design. And like the quilt here is going to be a new design soon. This is a tile floor,
Mhm.
and then in Costa Rica too. So in the wool applique designs, I have all those kits listed in the website.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, but if they have any questions or anything, they can contact me. My telephone number is in there in the website, and in my Facebook. They can find me there, and I always answer questions. And sometimes people call me because one of the designs, they like the designs, but maybe the background, oh, I don't like the blue background, can I have it green, let's say? And I said,
Mhm.
sure. So I just change the color, and I ship all over. I have to tell you this. When that pandemic started, I was designing a quilt. There was with the snowmans, with embroidery and coloring,
Mhm.
with pencil colors, e- every block. And then I says, I'm gonna share this with people. So people start telling me, oh, can I have it? Can can you make this? And so I decided to make a salon. And then they were 12 blocks. And in the end of uh, the 12 blocks, I give the settings for to put the quilt together. So I have to tell you this, I was so proud of myself because I have people from all over the world doing that with me.
Oh my
I
gosh.
keep in blacks because I pre-print. Some people uh, purchase the pre-print pattern from me, the design, and we made it in linen, and everybody they want to do it exactly like I did. Um, I pre-printed for them and ship it to them. And I was shipping to Europe. I was shipping to South America. I was shipping to Costa Rica. I was shipping to Australia,
Hmm.
United States. Many people was doing the quilt with me. And then I have lots of notes, the cards and everything in the mail after that saying, thank you very much because you helped me go through this um, rough time. And it made me feel so good. The people, was busy doing something when we all were so afraid, right? Inside of the houses and everything. But we made it through and thanks God, you know, uh, we're still here. Many are not, including family members that we lost, but they are in a better place. And then, many people was uh, happy they would be able to do something. So it was
Mhm.
it was nice to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank
yeah. I ship
goodness.
all over. I ship kids and patterns all over.
Hmm.
Mm,
That is
yes,
fantastic.
yes, yes.
Oh, well, this was a really nice visit, Patricia. I really
Oh,
appreciate your time.
oh, you're
And
welcome. Thank you for having me and for
yeah,
being, interested in my story. And
it's a great story. And I love your work. And I think a lot of people, I think you'll probably hear from some other people who you inspired today.
so I hope so. And if they need help, sometimes people after I do a trunk show or go to a shop for a class or something, they call me if
Mhm.
they don't have a chance to talk to me and they're in the trunk show or in the guilds or the wherever I go and do my work, they send me cards. It does make me feel very good because
Yeah.
they send me cards or they call me and says, I just want to give you thank you for this and that. And then they talk a little bit about their struggles and everything. So I says, good. Uh, Nothing has happened for a reason. This happened for a reason because I'm helping somebody else.
That's right. Yes.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you
Yeah.
for giving me the opportunity to share with you my
Mhm.
work and my a little bit of my life and I hope everybody enjoyed this.
I believe they will. My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And I'll just catch up with you later.
Okay.